Hi, this is Melia from Loom with M, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a basic action figure. I'm trying to keep this intro as short as possible because there are so many possibilities. The first basic action figure was created by PG's Loomacy's, and from there, many loomers have created their version of the basic action figure. So I created mine. It's just like a basic girl, and I figured out different ways to do the hair. Like this one's got more hair on the back of its head. And for this one, you can choose to make a mouth, and I have a different version of like a ponytail. And this one I also gave clothes, and I plan on making an accessory video showing you how to make all sorts of accessories for your basic action figure. This one, again, has same exact clothes and just basic ponytail. And for my band requirements, there's just so many possibilities for these. Okay, so for my band requirements, you're going to want 11 A-colored bands, and I'm using the darkest tone in Rainbow Loom Skin Color because I think it makes a nice brown hair color also. And you're going to need 11A, plus I'm using more than that because I'm going to be copying this style, and I'm going to be doing hair. So I'm going to do about 32 more bands because I want nice long ponytails. And 45 colored bands for the skin, and you can use less than that if you're making yours long sleeved. And then this pink color is for the body, short sleeves, and that's C colored bands, 32. 8D is the blue, which I'm using for the shorts. And this pink color, which is the same as this, I'm doing matching shoes. So I'm using the same color as the shirt, but you can choose to use a different color, and you just need 6 for the shoes. And then, of course, 2 black bands for the eyes. You could choose to use beads, but I haven't tried it on this one. And then if you are going to do a mouth, I guess you can need 1 mouth band, and I will try to show you where to put that. Okay, let's get started. So for this design, we're going to start with our hair. 1 hair colored band going down. And now we're going to take 2 bands and bring them to either side in this hair color. And now if you would like to add hair, on this doll, the hair is, it's coming out from this band. And on my first doll, I just attached it at the end, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach the hair. And if you would like a ponytail like this, you can apply it to some of the skin tone bands. So we're going to take our hook, and we're going to make a cap band 3 times around, so that there are 3 rings. And then we're going to chain. For me, I would like kind of this like nice long hair, so I'm chaining 7. If you want longer or shorter hair, you can choose to chain more or less. So I'm going to chain up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is not double knitted, it's just a single chain. And then I'm going to slide that up a little bit because I'm going to make another chain. And if you only want 1 chain, then you're done, but I wanted a little bit more hair, so I'm doing 2 chains. So again, cap band 3 times around. Chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm going to slide that forward again. So I have 2 chains of 7 that I am going to put onto my ponytail. So now I'm taking my hook, and I'm going to grab this band and lift it off the pin. And while holding onto that, I'm going to slide these 2 bands up and onto the band. And if you didn't get that, you'll see me do it for the other side. So now I have 2 bands that are, or these 2 chains that are like attached to this. And if you want more hair, you're going to do it for the next row and the row after that, if you would like a nice thick ponytail. but I'm only going to do it for these top two because I would like some pigtails. So we need to do it again for the other side. 3 times around, and I'm chaining up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And do it again. Cap band 3 times. Chain up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have my 2 chains of 7, and now I'm going to grab the rubber band with my hook, slide these 2 up and over onto the rubber band, and then replace the rubber band, or there are 2 rubber bands, on here. And now if you just dropped one like me, it's nice and easy. We can just place it on the pin, and I'm going to stick my hook through these 2, pull my hook through, and there you go. Do that all the time. So now I'm going to kind of move these out of the way. So I have my 2 pigtails of my action figure, and now we can begin the skin toned face. And again, if you want to have more hair, we can just continue adding hair that way underneath skin tone bands. Before we do our skin tone bands, we actually need to place 3 more hair bands in a row, like that. So we now have 2 bands and then 3 hair colored bands, and now we're ready to start the face. So we're going to chain down 1 on the sides, and I'm using a Rainbow Loom skin toned, and sorry if it's a little bit hard to see. And then we're going to chain 2 for the center row, and then 2 going in on both sides to make the face. And now we're going to take, again, double bands. Yeah, this is all double banded, by the way. And make 1 for the neck going down. And now we're going to switch to our shirt color and go down 1 more. And then we need to go out to the sides for the shoulders. And now we need to go down 3 on the edges and only 2 in the middle. Oop. If you need to put these bands on 1 at a time, feel free. I just find it faster going 2 at a time. So there's 3 on one side. And just try to make sure your bands aren't twisted. I keep adjusting mine. 2, 3. And now we need to add 2 more for our middle row. 1, 2. And now we can switch to our shorts color, and mine is blue. So we're gonna do bands coming up from this middle peg to both sides. And now we're gonna chain down 2, or 1 on each side, sorry. Dropped a band, just redo it. So we have the 2 bands coming out and then 2 bands down. And now we're at the legs. If you want your legs longer than mine, feel free to chain more, but I'm going to do 3 skin toned, and that should take me to the bottom of my loom. 1, 2, 3. And on the other side, 2. 1, 2, 3. And now before we place all of our cap bands, we need to create the shoes and the arms. So I'm just going to zoom out real quick. And this is what your action figure should look like. So you should have the hair, here's the face, streamlining to a neck, down 3, shorts, and then your feet. Okay, so now we need to make our hair, or I mean not our hair. Now we need to make our sleeves. So I'm going to start with the arms. And we're going to take single skin tone band, wrap around 3 times. And looking at the arm here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3 skin toned, double banded. So double bands, 1, 2, 3. There we go, 3. And if you had wanted a long sleeve doll, maybe you'd only chain 1 skin tone band, and the other 2 you'd start to make long sleeves. And now, we're going to do double bands of a sleeve and double bands of a sleeve, so 2 more. And if you really are running out of bands, you can single band this, like I did on this girl, but I think it looks definitely better double banded. So we're going to take our shirt color, chain 1, and then 1 more. And now we can attach this. So we're going to stretch out our hook, pull it and lift it on, and then release our hook. And if you just forgot one like me, simply just slide it over and then adjust the bands. Now we need to make the other arm. Same exact thing. Cap band 3 times around. And chain up 3 with skin toned. And then chain 2 with your shirt color. And now we can attach it, stretch it across, and I'm right-handed, so I had to attach it with that side and then swing it around. And now we can create the feet, and the feet are pretty simple. We just need to make a cap band 3 times around, and attach it to 2 bands. And then we attach that to our foot. And I apologize if my band counts aren't quite right. It's kind of hard to loom while counting. And make the other foot 3 times around, 2 bands, pull them on, put the other end on your hook, and we're going to stretch that over the pin. So now we have our little feet. And now before I forget, we're going to do our cap bands and our eyes. And we're going to start out by placing a single cap band around these 3 pins that's doubled. So here's a single cap band, and now we're going to twist it, wrap around, and double it. And if you have super stretched out bands, you probably should try 3 times around, but doubled really works. And now just depending on your bands, it should just be very tight. And now we're going to move on to our face, and we need to place our eyes. I'm going to put them on this pin 4 times around, 3, 4, and then on the next pin, 1, 2, 3, 4. Push them down, and we're going to do a doubled band stretched across these 3 pins, and double it over. And if it snaps like me, you can use your hook, kind of pull it across. There you go. And now we're going to take our hook, and we're going to lift only those 4 black bands while putting your finger on this so it doesn't pop off. and lift them over. And then we can kind of slide them out and untwist them. And again on the other side, make sure you put a finger on it so it doesn't fall off. And there are your eyes. And now we need to continue. So now we can start looping. And the legs are just like normal. Most of this is just like usual. We're just looping them straight forward. And if it pops off like that, you can fix it. Doesn't really matter. Mine just wants to pop off today. Apparently it's not cooperating. And if you'd like to fix it, you can. And then we're going to loop up the other side. My bands just don't like me today. And next we're gonna reach in through this blue band, short spans, and loop these two to the center. So I like to reach my hook out to the side and then grab the bands and pull them up. And now we're gonna continue looping the sides first and then the center. So make sure you pull back that cap band, going inside of it. Get to the arms. And now I like to kind of tug on this arm so I can see what I'm doing. And then loop it into the center. And now we're gonna go to the other side. Loop it up. Pull back that cap band. And again, I guess mine's not pushed down enough. There we go. And now we're gonna pull back all those armbands and grab that bottom shirt colored band. And again, if it pops off, you can just return it. And now we're gonna do the middle row. So we're gonna go in through these looped blue bands, shorts bands, and grab our shirt color, pull it forward, and then loop the center row up. Okay, this is probably one of the hardest steps. So just be very careful because it can get very tight. We're gonna reach down and we need to grab these bottom two neck bands and loop them forward. So we're gonna put our hook all the way down. And if it helps you, you can turn your loom sideways and kind of check and see where the bands are so you can help grab them. And carefully pull them forward. And now mine are very tight here and loose here, so I'm gonna swing my hook around the pin once, and it kind of loosens them up a little bit usually. And if not, it will loosen when you take it off. And now we need to loop up the face, so grabbing the top band, if you only grab one like me, go back and grab the other. Loop the sides and the front, so we're just looping everything from that neck band. And now we're gonna loop up the side. And I like to do the other side. And the middle. Mine are really pulling off today. And then again, the sides. And just make sure your hair like stays on the back side. And now we're going to carefully loop this last band. Again, if there's all this hair in the way, you can kind of pull it around, kind of out of your way, so you can see this last band. And you're going to reach through all of those hair bands, grab that last slip knot, and be very careful. And if yours just snap now, stick it through and grab it up like that. And now we're going to come in from the outside, pull one over the other, and tug a little, but I've broken my slip knot a lot there, so just be really careful. And that's why I like to take mine off from the bottom up, because then the slip knot will be the very last thing pulled off. And I like to use my hook a lot because a lot of these bands are very tight. So just carefully remove your basic action figure. And then on this last pin, be very, very careful and remove it. And then take off the slip knot, remove your hook, and now you can kind of pull on it. I've also had it break here, so be really careful. And now you kind of need to do some squishing. And mine's kind of got this hair all over. And the legs won't really fold out correctly for a couple days. Just kind of keep pulling on them, and they will get better. And just give it some tugs. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but I'm planning on making a video teaching you how to make some various accessories. But the first accessory that I always think of is doing some quick ponytails. So I'm using Purple Potion Halloween bands because Halloween just passed and I have extra bands. And we're going to put it on once. And the good thing is, if you don't like to hide slip knots, you can stick the slip knot into your ponytail. And especially if you have a lot of hair, the slip knot just kind of sticks on in. And we're going to pull it around once. And if you kind of like that loose look, you can keep it that way, but I like mine going around one more time. And then we can kind of adjust that. And do the same thing for the other side. And just kind of tug it around till it is how you want it. That's how you make your basic action figure.